Gathering together, the family of God. That's a term that means a lot more to us as Americans now than it's meant during my lifetime. In much of the world, the people of God cannot gather safely. They have to gather in secret, they gather in forests, they gather in apartments, they gather surreptitiously. In America, it's never been that way in my life experience. But now, just today, they came out with an edict here in California that we're not even allowed to sing at our services because of the COVID-19 situation. So my guess is that gathering together as the people of God is on your mind, like it's on mine. And this week is a special week for me to talk about this with you because it's the week of our readings in Chukat Balak, which includes Numbers chapter 21. And in Numbers 21, we find this passage. And from there, Israel went to Be'er, that is, the well, HaB'er, of which the Lord spoke to Moses, gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Israel sang this song, Spring up, O well, sing you to it. The princes dug the well, the nobles of the people excavated, and the scepter with their scepter and with their poles. So it's a picture of leaders digging a well where the people of God can gather together that God might give them water. That's a beautiful image. We need water in the wilderness of life. And the term we use here in Interfaithfulness for the kinds of gatherings where that water is best distributed is the well, HaB'er. So, of all weeks, I want to tell you this week a little bit about HaB'er, about that name, and about why I find it so significant, and why you might want to know something more about it. So let's take a look. More about the name HaB'er. The key text, as I said, is from Bamidbar, from Numbers, chapter 21, verse 16 to 18. The term HaB'er means the well. But here at Interfaithfulness, we use that term also as an acronym for a Hebrew phrase, Bet Otzar Ruchani, spiritual treasure house. We link that to Matthew chapter 13, verse 53, where we read that the kingdom of God is like a householder who brings out of his treasures things old and things new. And we believe that the people of God should meet together as kind of surrogate families, as extended families, and that these gatherings are like a spiritual treasure house where we bring out things old and things new. As it would develop, there would be two streams, and here at Interfaithfulness, we're sponsoring that idea of two streams. Jews and intermarrieds gather in the midst of Jewish ritual life and Jewish ritual responsibility, Jewish covenantal identity, and they promote that amongst their families, etc., etc. That's based on the Jewish idea of a bayit. A bayit is not just a house; it's a household, and a household is not just your family. A household is the gathering of those people with whom you share a familial relationship, your posse, so to speak. The Greeks had a similar term, oikos. In the Roman world, they used that term, and oikos is also a gathering of people who share a familial relationship with you. And these gatherings, oikoi and batim, these households, are the places where we learn to grow in relationship with each other, and therefore growing in relationship with God. Finally, this term, HaB'er, I love the connotations of it, the associations of it. First, a well is a place of nurture. It's a place where you come for life-giving water. It's life-giving, it's familial. This is where Isaac's wife was found at a well. This is where Moses found a wife. This is a place where conflicts are resolved. Abraham met there with Abimelech and resolved conflicts. That's where they formed Be'er-sheva, a well the well of the oath. It's also a place for life life-changing encounter, like the woman at the well who met with Yeshua there. Finally, the water of a well is a metaphor of the Spirit. We meet in these gatherings in order to grow in the things of God and experience the life of the Spirit. Maybe you want to know more about this, so I'll make a deal with you. If you'll write me before this Monday, that is June 6th, 2020, then I will send you a copy of this diagram. So let me give you an address where you can write me. Try this one: info@interfaithfulness.org. Write me and include the word well, W-E-L-L, info@interfaithfulness.org. I'll send you a copy of this diagram, and if you want to know more, just ask, and we'll see what we can do. Meanwhile, this is Rabbi Stuart Darrellman at Interfaithfulness wishing you a Shabbat Shalom, here and always. Shabbat Shalom.